So you can answer the question now based on the app itself. So based on the app, you can click on the option button to select the answer that you feel. For example, how much you know about the cells. If you know a lot, you click on A. If you know a little, you click on B. If you don't know anything, click on C. All right, I have Canon, click on B, that's great. All right, I have Ming Chao who don't know anything, but it's okay, no worries. We are here to learn. All right, we still have some people have not answered yet. Okay. All right, so let's carry on then. So now, right, we are going to the next slide. Hang on a moment, I think there's some technical error here. One moment, please. All right. So, same thing here. I want to know from you guys. Do you know any type of cells? Like example, you know about plant cells. If you know about plant cells, you type plant cells in the share your thoughts here. Example, I know about plant cells. I know plant cells and animal cells. If you know about other cells, you can also click on enter. So when you click on enter, you will see that your answer is now on the board for us to learn together. Don't answer in the Zoom chat, answer in the Nearpod itself. Students, you can type in what you have known so that you can at least allow me to see how should I explain the theory. All right. Virus cells, very good. What else? There is no right or wrong answer because this board is to let me know how well you know about it. So other than viruses, plant cells, animal cells, what are cells that you think you are aware of? All right, we have James, who is plant cells and animal cells. Wonderful. Is there any other person? All right, if not, we shall carry on to the next. Oh, we have one more. Body cells, bone cells. Excellent. Plant cells have a wall outside of cell. Well done. Good job. Well, we have white blood cells. That's wonderful. You see, instead of me as a teacher teaching alone, it's also good to learn from each other. That's what makes the lesson more interesting. Well, we have red blood cell. Wonderful, perfect. Nice. Eukaryotic, nice. Any other one coming? Any other? We have plant cells, animal cells, fungi cells, bacterial cells, muscle cells. All right, wonderful. All right, for those who just joined in, you can join our Nearpod lesson via the chat. All right. Well, if you students will agree with your classmates' answer, do put a like, a heart, to show that, hey, I like your answer. I give you a heart. All right, that's wonderful. Okay, well, we have this one. Well done. Okay, okay. Let's carry on. Next. All right. Let's carry on the next slide. Oh, we have skill cell. What is skill cell? Is it skin cells? Not bad. Wow, skin, not bad. Egg cells and germ cells. All right. Thank you for the answer. Let's carry on. So, after exploring everything, so what exactly is a cells? At the next slide, we are going to the South Pacific. We are going to see, right, what are the cells there, and we name it after we see. All right, students, you should now at this page now. At this page of app, please click on enter VR. When you enter VR, you will be able to see what is the condition. So look carefully at this picture. After looking carefully at this picture for 1 minute to 2 minutes, we will do an exercise to see, based on this VR picture, what are the cells in this picture. All right. So students, go to your respective nearport and enter VR mode. From there, you can see your goggle and you will see in this particular 360 picture, what are the cells inside this picture. You have 1 minute starts now. Okay. A few more seconds more. Remember? All right, thumbs up. So let's go to the next page now. All right. At this slide, while it loads, we're going to ask ourselves, what are the cells that we see in the VR just now? So what do you see? Well, let me start. We see what? We see eye cells. Okay, eye cells. What other cells you see? Plant cells, very good. Sand is not a cell, so it's wrong. Animal cell, plant cell, correct. Animal cell, plant cell. Sand is not a cell. Human cells, is there a human there? Well, there is, because you are standing there. All right, then we have plant cells, human cells, people cells. Sand is not an answer. All right. No cells, all right. Bird cells, okay, can be dissected. Plant cells, very good. All right, students, think. What can be in the air? All right, now we are all focusing on what we see, right? Very good. But what about those that we can't see? All right, very good. Okay, students, now let's go back to the question. What did we see that was made out of cells? So I saw a bird. So let's go back. So I saw a bird that is made up of cells. Very good. Other than birds, is there a tiger there? Well, is there a tiger there? Bacterial cells, yes. There might be bacteria there. Virus cells, all right. Plant cells, okay. Tiger cells, fish cells, okay. Bacterial cells, plant cells, okay. Shark cell, wow. I didn't know that you can see shark from the picture. That's great. All right, thank you very much. Let's carry on then. So the first thing we're going to go through is, right, how are cells organized? We all know that cells make up all living organisms. One cell alone cannot make up an organism, like a bird. You see the bird there, right? A bird is made of many cells. So therefore, a group of cells can make up one living organism. This is how the cells are organized. A group of atoms make up a cell. A group of specialized cells in a certain area made up a tissue. Then this tissue, right, made up an organ. A group of cells, a group of organs make up an organ system, such as digestive system. We have stomach, we have mouth, small intestine, large intestine. Finally, all the group of systems made up an organism. So now in the next slide, we are going to discuss what we saw. What type of cells do we think is present, and what is in the picture that is an organism. All right. So in this case, students, you can type out answer. For example, type answer that I saw a bird that is made up of what kind of cells? Well, nerve cells. We have made up of blood cells and many more. So this is one example. All right. Okay, so let me see your answer now. Bird cells. What else? Students, you can think, spend your time to think. In this picture, I saw a bird that's made out of nerve cells. So it's made out of nerve cells, muscle cells, blood cells, and many more. So give me your answer now. I saw blood cells. Yes, very good. I saw bird cell. Yes, very good. Well done. Then we have what else? Humans that is made from nerves. I would say that we saw a human that have nerve cells instead of made from. They have nerve cells. We have verb plan 3. All right, carry on. Very good. It seems that you guys know exactly what is the answer. All right, let's carry on then. Oh, someone say one thing. You misclick. Oh, okay. Let's carry on then. Now we will explain a cell's theory. As mentioned just now, you saw many different types of cells exist together, just like what you see just now in the 360 picture. All right. Okay. So some of the cells are single cell organism called prokaryotic cells. An example of these prokaryotic cells will be bacteria in the water or on the feathers of a bird. Some cells are eukaryotic, which is basically made up of larger organisms such as the plants and the bird you saw at the picture just now. So now I'm going to show you a video. While you're watching this video, I want students please think of a following question. As you watch the video later, please think what is the difference between these two types of cells? What is the difference characteristic between these two types? And some example of these two types of cells. We are going to discuss and share answers to each other after the video. All right. So now let's enjoy the video. Please wait a moment while it loads. I shall put on teacher play on device to up here.
I'll never forget a circular red spot I developed on my arm when I was in elementary school. It left a lasting memory in my mind because it was something called ringworm. And with my active imagination, I thought I was now infected with a ring-shaped worm. I learned you gotta be careful about names because ringworm isn't caused by a worm at all. It's actually a fungus, which it turns out is pretty common and can be carried by many things like pets or soil. And since up to that point I was used to antibiotics as a way to treat infections, I assumed I'd be given antibiotics. But I wasn't. I was given an antifungal cream instead, and it went away. So it made me wonder, what made it different from the bacteria that had made me sick in the past? Why wasn't I given antibiotics? Well, antibiotics target bacteria. Antibiotics can destroy bacteria by affecting their ability to reproduce, damaging their cell walls, or interfering with their ability to make proteins that they need to survive. Just some examples. But it turns out bacterial cells and fungal cells are very different cell types. In fact, fungal cells have more in common with your cells, which are animal cells, than they have in common with bacterial cells. And that has a lot to do with the comparison of prokaryotic cells with eukaryotic cells, which is what we will focus on. First, just a refresher, recall that the modern cell theory includes a statement that All living things are made of one or more cells. All living things. In the 3 domains of life, prokaryotes are organisms that can be bacteria or archaea. They are unicellular, which means they are single-celled organisms. Eukaryotes are organisms that fit all in this last domain, eukarya. Eukaryotes can be protists, plants, animals, or fungi. They can be unicellular or they can be multicellular, which means they can be made up of many cells, like you. By the way, just to clarify, the word prokaryote is typically used to refer to the organism itself. When you are describing its cell, you are describing a prokaryotic cell. Same for eukaryote. Eukaryote typically refers to the organism itself, and when you are describing its cells, those are eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells do have a lot in common. Both have DNA. That's critical because DNA is the cell's genetic material. Both prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells have ribosomes, which are small organelles, an organelle being like a tiny organ. The ribosomes have the important job of making proteins. Gotta make protein. Both cells have cytoplasm, the jelly fluid within cells. Both of them have a cell membrane, also known as a plasma membrane, which is critical because it controls what goes in and out of the cell, and therefore maintaining homeostasis. All cells have a cell membrane. Now, as for cell walls, most prokaryotic cells have cell walls. Many eukaryotic cells, plant cells and fungal cells, for example, can have cell walls. But there are plenty of eukaryotic cells that don't have cell walls, such as animal cells. What makes prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells different is especially interesting. Eukaryotic cells are more complex than prokaryotic cells. They tend to be larger than most prokaryotic cells. And to help me remember some more differences in this next part, I like to remember that pro in prokaryote rhymes with no, and eu in eukaryote rhymes with do. Prokaryotic cells have no nucleus to contain their DNA, so you will find their DNA is not contained within a nucleus. It's a bit messy here. They have no membrane-bound organelles. Membrane-bound organelles are fancy organelles that have their own membrane, like the nucleus, mitochondria, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi apparatus. A big indicator of eukaryotic cells is this nucleus. Eukaryotic cells do have a nucleus to contain their DNA. Depending on what type of eukaryotic cell it is, it could have different types of membrane-bound organelles. For example, a plant cell is likely to have chloroplasts, while an animal cell would not. Wow, look at all this alphabetized vocabulary. If you want to try to practice your skills, pause the video and see how many of these vocabulary words you can use to compare and contrast prokaryotic cells with eukaryotic cells. It's important to grasp that all cells of living things fall in one of these 2 categories. And understanding the characteristics of these 2 cell types can help us better understand the diversity of living things, whether they are archaea, bacteria, protists, fungi, plants, or animals.
All right, so I believe you watched the video already. So let's see your answer. So based on this one, please draw what is the difference between the, so I say, identify the example of the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells by drawing. You can draw on the on a particular column to see how. So for this case, prokaryotic is just one simple substance. There's no nucleus, whereas the eukaryotic cells have a nucleus. So in this case, I can draw very nicely one little dot here with all the DNA around, maybe. Then I can draw a little eukaryotic with the nucleus and a ribosome, something like that. So let's see your drawing now. Well, I saw this drawing. Asterisk, draw a little cute egg here. Nice, wonderful. Let's see another student drawing. Wow, this is nice. Eh? Let's see. This drawing is Y. There you have this thing called, that's not bad, all right. So let's see other drawings. Well, we have some other people who type the words, which is great. Which is bacteria, fungi, and viruses. We have one drawing that's very cute, a very cute viruses. All right, let's see. Now I know, now I can see the name already. Chao An draw a very cute virus. That's nice. Correct. Virus belongs to prokaryotics. Let's see others. Alice is quite nice. We have prokaryotic cells. Look at biscuit or cookie. Then we have eukaryotic cells. Look at egg. That's nice. Correct. So let's carry on. Wow, Chuyên is a very nice flower here. Is it? Is it a flower?
It's a virus that
I see. I see. Got it. Then we have, let's see, Bao Chao is still drawing. I saw a cute dog here. All right. So take your time to draw. You have 5 minutes to draw. Oh, Annabelle is submitted already. That's nice. All right. We have Candace submitted. A very nice and a very cute little face, happy face. Well, it's good to be happy. Nice one. Then we have very nice little virus. Is it virus or bacteria? Nice little bacteria with 3 legs, or tails. That's nice. So we are still waiting for drawing for some. We are still in progress. We have Tom, who's drawing bacteria eating something. That's nice. All right. So you guys, from the video, you know that prokaryotic is a single cell like bacteria, whereas eukaryotic is something like animal cells. All right. So give some time to draw. Okay, I'll give you all some time to draw. No issues. Take your time. Okay, I give you all some time. 5 more minutes to draw. Nice. Wow, we have Sherlock Holmes. Bacteria, fungi, viruses, the tiger, apple. But I think you're still drawing tiger. Oh, you submitted already. Okay. So let's see. Wow, we have Doctor is here. All right. So, wow, nice one. Bao Chao is still drawing, right? I don't see any drawing here yet. So let's see other people who is still drawing. Maris is still drawing. So through this activity by drawing, you guys, students, you will know that what is in a prokaryotic cells, what is in a eukaryotic cells. So this exercise is about teaching you guys to draw on your own. From there, you will learn instead of having me to talk all the way for 1 hour. I still think that there's one drawing. Canon drawing is quite cute, but little smiley face. Alice is not very nice with the exact things inside. That's great. Then we have Sherlock Holmes who draw everything, but I think you missed out the tiger and the flower. All right, we shall wait for another 3 more minutes before we carry on to the next slide. Xiao An, I think you forgot to draw the eukaryotic cell.
Because it's you say I stopped drawing it too fast, so I cannot finish.
Did I press it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see whether can I stop? Can I restart?
Yeah.
My bad. Let me see how should I restart. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I think I pressed wrongly. That's why.
Let me draw. Not have me.
Okay, I see whether can I draw. Wait, let me just see how to let you draw. Hold on. You can't get back to draw, is it? Okay. Is there a time being set here? Let me check this. It's okay, students. I will give you this link. You can access it and draw after the lesson. All right. I'm sorry about that.
Teacher, why can't you draw?
I think there's some issue here, but rest assured, I'm going to pass you the link and you can draw after the lesson. This link will be available for next 1 month.
Okay.
All right. Let's carry on then. So now let's go into a bit of dry stuff.
I can draw in the.
Yes, no worries. I will give you the link. You can draw at your own timing. That link that I'm going to give you later in Zalo is 1 month valid. So the next 1 month, you can draw anytime you want. All right. My apology. I think there's some technical issue on that slide. But not to worry. When I send the link later, you can draw anytime you want for the next 1 month. All right. Let's carry on with the dry stuff. So what is cell theory exactly? Well, since many types of cells exist.
What is this? I don't know.
Which word is? Sorry, which word?
What code? What the code?
I will give you the code and the link later in Zalo. So don't worry too much. All right. All right. So let's carry on first. Not to worry. That link I'll give you later in Zalo after the lesson will be 1 month for you to play and enjoy. All right. So since different types of cells exist, right, such as eukaryotic and prokaryotic, right? So how do they keep living? How do we even know these cells exist? We know that this concept of cells have been for the past 200 years, and based on experiment, right, it does exist. In the next video, we are going to look at who discovered the cells theory, what are the discoveries that helped them to discover it, and the concept of the cells evolved over time. While you are looking at a video, you can answer some questions such as the cell theory, what is cell theory, and how can the cell theory help us to explain the characteristics of cells as well as the function of the cells. All right, without further ado, let us carry on with the next video. Please wait a moment while it loads. All right.
One of the great things about science is that when scientists make a discovery, it's not always in a prescribed manner, as in only in a laboratory under strict settings with white lab coats and all sorts of neat science gizmos that go beep. In reality, the events and people involved in some of the major scientific discoveries are as weird and varied as they get. My case in point, the weird history of the cell theory. There are 3 parts to the cell theory. 1. All organisms are composed of 1 or more cells. 2. The cell is the basic unit of structure and organization in organisms. And 3. All cells come from pre-existing cells. To be honest, this all sounds incredibly boring until you dig a little deeper into how the world of microscopic organisms and this theory came to be. It all started in the early 1600s in the Netherlands, where a spectacle maker named Zacharias Janssen is said to have come up with the first compound microscope, along with the first telescope. Both claims are often disputed, as apparently he wasn't the only bored guy with a ton of glass lenses to play with at the time. Despite this, the microscope soon became a hot item that every naturalist or scientist at the time wanted to play with, making it much like the iPad of its day. One such person was a fellow Dutchman by the name of Anton van Leeuwenhoek, who heard about these microscope doohickeys, and instead of going out and buying one, he decided to make his own. And it was a strange little contraption indeed, as it looked more like a tiny paddle the size of a sunglass lens. If he had stuck two together, it probably would have made a wicked set of sunglasses that you couldn't see much out of. Anywho, once Leeuwenhoek had his microscope ready, he went to town looking at anything and everything he could with them, including the gunk on his teeth. Yes, you heard right. He actually discovered bacteria by looking at dental scrapings, which, when you keep in mind that people didn't brush their teeth much, if at all, back then, he must have had a lovely bunch of bacteria to look at. When he wrote about his discovery, he didn't call them bacteria as we know them today, but he called them animalcules because they looked like little animals to him. While Leeuwenhoek was staring at his teeth gunk, he was also sending letters to a scientific colleague in England by the name of Robert Hooke. Hooke was a guy who really loved all aspects of science, so he dabbled in a little bit of everything, including physics, chemistry, and biology. Thus it is Hooke who we can thank for the term the cell, as he was looking at a piece of cork under his microscope, and the little chambers he saw reminded him of cells, or the rooms monks slept in their monasteries. Think college dorm rooms, but without the TVs, computers, and really annoying roommates. Hooke was something of an underappreciated scientist of his day, something he brought upon himself as he made the mistake of locking horns with one of the most famous scientists ever, Sir Isaac Newton. Remember when I said Hooke dabbled in many different fields? Well, after Newton published a groundbreaking book on how planets move due to gravity, Hooke made the claim that Newton had been inspired by Hooke's work in physics. Newton, to say the least, did not like that, which sparked a tense relationship between the two that lasted even after Hooke died, as quite a bit of Hooke's research, as well as his only portrait, was misplaced due to Newton. Much of it was rediscovered, thankfully, after Newton's time, but not his portrait, as sadly no one knows what Robert Hooke looked like. Fast forward to the 1800s, where two German scientists discovered something that today we might find rather obvious, but helped tie together what we now know as the cell theory. The first scientist was Matthias Schleiden, a botanist who liked to study plants under a microscope. From his years of studying different plant species, it finally dawned on him that every single plant he had looked at were all made of cells. At the same time, on the other end of Germany was Theodor Schwann, a scientist who not only studied slides of animal cells under the microscope and got a special type of nerve cell named after him, but also invented rebreathers for firefighters and had a kickin' pair of sideburns. After studying animal cells for a while, he too came to the conclusion that all animals were made of cells. Immediately, he reached out via snail mail, as Twitter had yet to be invented, to other scientists working in the same field, and it was Schleiden who got back to him, and the two started working on the beginnings of the cell theory. A bone of contention arose between them, as for the last part of the cell theory, that cells come from pre-existing cells, Schleiden didn't exactly subscribe to that thought, as he swore cells came from free cell formation, where they just kind of spontaneously crystallized into existence. That's when another scientist, named Rudolf Virchow, stepped in with research showing that cells did come from other cells. Research that was actually, how to put it, borrowed without permission from a Jewish scientist by the name of Robert Remak, which led to two more feuding scientists. Thus, from teeth gunk to torquing off Newton, crystallization to Schwann cells, the cell theory came to be an important part of biology today. Some things we know about science today may seem boring, but how we came to know them is incredibly fascinating. So if something bores you, dig deeper. It's probably got a really weird story behind it somewhere.
All right, let's carry on then. Yes, I saw someone raise hand. You raise hand, yes? Any questions? Okay, let's carry on then. All right. So let's carry on to the next page. Next slide. All right, after learning all those questions, yes, your questions. I saw raising hand. Hi. Dan, is it? Your questions, you raise your hand.
Only on dot. This is man is showing how parts of they are theory. Only on dot. Living all organisms is made of cells. The cell is the passive point life. The onion cell is made from all the only on cells.
Okay, sure. Thanks a lot. Okay, I guess you just click on the hand accidentally. No worries. Thanks for the reading. Yes, correct. So the theory of the cell theory is that all cells came from another cells. There is no such thing called all of a sudden, boom, a cell was born. A cell is born. No, it just the cell came from another cell. So this particular is a onion cells that is from the microscope. So it fulfill the three parts of the cell theory, which is all living organism is made of cells. The cell is the basic unit of life, and the onion cells is made of from other onion cells. All right, let's carry on then. So now, students, your turn to answer a question. Which of the following is not part of a cell theory? Let's see. Please answer your question by clicking on A, B, C, or D. Which of the following is not a part of cell theory? Remember just now, cell theory, we go through three different parts. So now you tell me now, which one do you think is not a cell theory? A, B, C, D. Which one is not? So which cells are not? So I give you all 1 or 2 minutes to finish up. There is only one answer. Only one answer. All right. Yes, Dan, you raise your hand. Any questions? You raise your hand. Sorry? Okay, you can type on the options. All right, we can go through together. Thank you very much. All right, let's see the answer then. Correct. The answer is C. And so C, not part of cell theory. C and A. All right, not parts of cell theory. Okay. All right. So answer is C, as mentioned, you guys. All right, let's carry on. What about question 2? Oops, my bad, sorry. Okay, the next question is, what piece of equipment helps the scientists to discover cells? Is it the microscope? Is it the glasses? Is it this one or this one? So I believe that you guys already know that, yes, the first question answer is C. Second question answer is A. Well done. Let's carry on. Now I'm going to play a video. All right, I'll play for all devices. Let's play. I will skip this one. All right. So let's carry on first. So the whole reason, right, why scientists is able to discover the cells and create a cell theory, because it was due to the invention of the microscope. If there is no microscope, there will not be cells. When there's no cells, there won't be a cell theory. So using the microscope, scientists such as Hope, and so on, can view the cells in order to learn more about them. So in the next slide, you are going to tell me who discovered what. So how to do this thing? Basically, very simple. So we need to know who, basically it's a match game. So if it's correct, for example, you just click on one time hook, and if it's wrong, it's red in color. If it's correct, it is green in color. All right. So time starts now. 5 minutes to play with. Wow, we have one person who's get all correct. Well done. So students, you can click on them to find out the correct answer. Once you are done, let me know. All right. Can I see some students they are still doing? All right, let's proceed then. All right, the correct answer is this guy is the first scientist to determine the word called cells. This guy observed a single cell organism. This guy discovered all plants made of cells, and last guy discovered all animal made of cells. All right, congrats to all who get full mark. Let's carry on. Now let's evaluate what we have learned today. So, true or false? There are two basic techniques to cell theory. True or false? The second question is, which of the following are true about cell theory? The third question is, pick two of three parts of cell theory and draw them. And add a few words to say how the drawing are related or represent cell theory. And last but not least, so let's see. Let's see the question now and evaluate. You have 5 minutes to do it. There are two basic techniques. No, if the answer should not be true, because there are three parts of cell theory. Right, as we move along, for every segment, after that segment, we will have a short quiz to see how much you understand from this lesson. Then the more evolved cells that have these little tiny organs are called what? Followed by cells are organized into organ, tissue, and into organelle. True or false? All right, let's see whether how much the score currently. All right, we have majority have finished. That's great. Let's carry on that. Now, I want you guys to pick 2 of the 3 cell theory and draw them. Add a few words first to describe how the drawing related or represent the cell's theory. In this case, I can draw for example, I can draw a human. Why? Because human is made up of cells, which basically tells you that all living organisms are made up of cells. This is one theory. Well, the second theory for most people, right, can be draw a structure of a cells. So let's see how you guys illustrate the cells theory. Then the other side we can draw is I can draw like this and draw many cells, many eggs, like basic unit of life. All right. So let's see how you guys draw. For today, I won't. For now, I will not type any. I will not touch anything. I let you all draw. I will only touch my screen after 5 minutes at 7:55 Vietnam time. So I see drawings. Yeah, wow, that's very nice. A very nice lady. A nice cat. Remember, when you press submit, there is no way you can draw again. All right, yes, we have cells. That's wonderful. A very nice lady. That is draw a very nice lady. But you guys remember 2 parts of a cell theory. What are the 3 parts of a cell theory we learned today? The first one is all living organisms made up of 1 or more cells together. The cells, the second one is the cells is the basic unit structure. And then last but not least, the third one is the cells arise from pre-existing cells. All right. So all organisms are made out of cells. Cells is the most basic of life. And lastly, cells come from other cells. A nice cat. Cells, tissue, cannon, well done. All right, another 3 minutes. I will stop the drawing in another 3 minutes time. For those who cannot draw finish, not to worry. I will give the drawing link shortly in Zalo. Remember, the link only can allow you to visit it for up to 1 month. After 1 month, the link will disappear. So you can enjoy the lesson in your own timing for 1 month. Oh, I saw some hands. Hi, any questions? Any questions?
Teacher,
Yes.
how can we draw on the board? Everyone can draw, but I can't.
How can you draw on the board?
Yes,
Use your hand on the iPads?
on the screen. But we are use the iPhone. We are not use iPad, so we cannot.
iPhone also can draw.
But I don't know how to. But I don't know where can I choose to draw.
Okay, but let me help you. One moment. Let me go into this nearport using phone. Let me see whether how to help you. One moment. Okay, now I go to the link now. Let me see where can I go in now.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
No worries. Wait, let me see whether can we draw on the iPhone. I'm using an iPhone also. So let's see. Okay, I'm going in now. One moment. Okay, let's see. This. Okay, for those using iPhone, right? Also, we can see my phone, right? There is this pencil icon below. You can just click on the pencil icon and you can just draw whatever you want using your finger, like this. So this is how you draw an iPhone. All right. So I hope they answer your questions. Yes, Ben, any questions?
What type of cell is the white blood cell?
What type of cells is white blood cells? Is it?
Yes.
You mean is it yes, a white blood cell? So you're asking me whether white blood cells is eukaryotic or prokaryotic, is it?
Yes.
Well, the answer is right. Well, white blood cells is from where? White blood cells is from many animals, like human, etc. Right? So as long as the white blood cells, right, have a nucleus, right, it is a eukaryotic cells. All right.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Welcome. So how to differentiate between a prokaryotic and eukaryotic? As long as the cells that we see have a well-defined nucleus with a nucleus membrane, this cell is a eukaryotic. Whereas if the cell is a bacteria, no nucleus, then it's called prokaryotic. All right. So thumbs up. Let's see different drawing now. Let's see the first student's drawing. Oh, it's still pending. So let's see submitted. All right, we have this is a tree and it's a cell. Yes, the tree is made of cell. Wonderful. All right, so not bad. Let's see another person who is finished already. Let's see who finishes. All right, we have Haley Freeman, very nice, a very cute girl, which is a cell. Yes, why? Because this cute girl is made of different types of eukaryotic cells. Nucleus. All right, let's carry on. That's very great. So now let's carry on to those other students that is submitted already. Then we have James. Yes, a human made out of cells. Well done. Then we have Bao Chao. Yes, correct. Human also a very cute little face here. Well done. So yes, you guys, students, you have understand the cell theory whereby all living organism is made up of cells. And cell is the basic unit of life. And last but not least, cells come from other cells. All right. So yes, well done. Nice one. All right. A very nice brain. Wow, this is a nice brain. Then we have very nice. Is this a tree or is it a dog? It's a tree. I think it's a tree. Yes, or is it a cell? Yes, a tree made out of cells. Correct. Yes. How can I help you? Any questions? Well, there's no questions. Thank you. I need to press wrongly. No worries. All right. Cannon is nice. Yeah. Wow. This is very nice. This is a human. This is a bacteria, tiny bacteria. This is a cat or cells. All right. Nice one, Eric. This is something to do with cells inside. Well done. Okay, students, as mentioned earlier, I'm going to send a link later in Zalo. You can play with at your own timing. Let us proceed on. All right, so let's proceed on with the last section, activities. Let's wait for you to look first. All right. So now we have come to the end of today's lesson. I want you guys to type your thoughts. What is the most interesting or surprising things that you learned about self today? Today we learn about all living things are made out of cells. Cells are the basic unit of life. We learn about cells come from other cells. Then we have then we learn about who founded the cells, who discovered the cells, what kind of theory of cells. So let us share your thoughts with other students in the class. Right, you have 1 minute to share. All is what? So everything surprised you, everything interesting into you. Am I right to say? Yes, about cell theory, correct. Everything all about theory. So the theory, remember students, remember the 3 theory of a cell theory. Let me repeat again. Sorry for being naggy. The cell theory is made of 3 parts. Number 1, all living things are made out of cells. Number 2, cells is the basic unit of life. Number 3, all cells come from another cells. So there's no such thing called the cells come from nowhere. All cells are come out from another cells. All right. Well, I saw this person say history of cell theory, everything. The one person say nothing. All right, no worries. Henry just put a human cells there. Wonderful. All right. Well, there's no question now. We will end the lesson now. All right. So I shall skip this lesson now. I'll end the lesson now. Thank you very much for your time and effort. I will send the link now to Zalo so you guys can play with it during your own timing. Or if there's no question, I will see you guys next week for another lesson of We Love Science Advanced. We'll be doing the same format using Nearpod. So if possible, please download Nearpod in your iPad, Android phone, iPhone, whichever devices that you're using. We'll be using Nearpod for all our lessons from now onwards. All right. So that's all. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Good night. Bye. Hi Nam. Bye Sophia. Bye Alice. Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye Dewey. Bye Yu. Bye Ben. Bye James. Bye Papa T. Bye Eric. All right. I will see you next week for another episode of We Love